Namaskar, hello, welcome to this next very special session at the We Women Want Festival in Mumbai and the NewsX Shakti Awards. It's truly a powerful day full of women achievers from all walks of life, and we truly have now our next conversation with the rising star of the entertainment industry. The television space is buzzing with mentions of Nimrit Kaur Ahluwalia. So firstly, welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out today.
Firstly, thank you so much for being so kind. Truly flattering, and just thank you so much for such a warm introduction.
No, you truly deserve it, Nimrit, as I said earlier. So first, my question to you is your first reaction. Kaisa lag raha hai? Like the media asks very typically after winning the NewsX Shakti Award for Rising Star.
I think it's a good moment of reassurance. I think it is very thoughtful and very kind of everyone on the team to recognize women in different spheres. And I also feel very grateful, because there can be moments when you're doing work and, in your head you are going in the right direction because there are certain standards that you've set for yourself. But for the same to be recognized, truly grateful.
Since it is the NewsX Shakti Award, I have to ask you, where do you derive your Shakti from?
I think from everyone around me, from women around me. I don't know, but it's been the case. Even when I was in school or when I was in law school or even now, I feel that if you have the eye, there's inspiration everywhere. So it's been a great experience even today. Just sitting in the audience, listening to great women, and, just to hear their stories. I think there's inspiration to find everywhere.
Okay. Just talking to you now, of course, a bit, Nimrit, about, your own career. We'll talk about your recent success in just a second, but शुरुआत आपने कैसे की इंडस्ट्री में? जैसे आप कह रहे थे लॉ पढ़ रहे थे आप, तो कीड़ा कब आया कि एक्टर बनना है, ये करना है?
I think कीड़ा तो बचपन से था, even when I was in kindergarten, that was the first time that I went up on stage. And I remember it was a character dramatization competition in school. And that's when I realized that I really enjoyed being in the spotlight and performing on stage. But and it continued, like all along school, I was working, alongside different theatre groups and just feeling that it's a very difficult feeling to explain, but it's the best feeling in the world, and that's what I realized. But again, coming from a family where my mom, she's a principal of a school, my dad, he's in the army, and the entire family is such that there's a lot of emphasis on education, and rightfully so. So I think they really brainwashed me, and they were like, you should get a professional degree first. Not that I didn't want to be a lawyer, I really wanted to be one, and I became one. But then I also realized that life is only one. And we should not set parameters in a way that tells us that, we can't fulfill this. So there's one life, and I think I'm doing it all.
No doubt. But there is, somewhat of a connect between 4G kids and beauty pageants as well.
Oh, yes.
And you of course did win one, Femina Miss India Manipur, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So tell us a bit about that. And do you believe that was, in a way, the launching pad?
Absolutely. So when I was in my 4th year of college, I managed to, bag 2 jobs. One was with a law firm in Delhi for intellectual property rights, and the other one was an insurance company based in Bombay. So my parents were pretty chill on the fact that I finally have a job. So that stress was off. Otherwise you're usually thinking, yaar, 5 saal padhai karne ke baad, what's next? So once that happened, 4G dad, he had the same keeda, I feel, because when I was born in 94, everybody would see and talk of a Sushmita and, a Priyanka Chopra, and my dad, he would really brag. Like, he would tell in all his, 4G parties that if she takes on to my height, then one day I'll make sure that she participates in Miss India. So I was like, cool. So I just went back and I reminded, and I was like, hey guys, I think I want to do this. And luckily, they were very excited about it. And that's how the journey began. So Femina Miss India 2018, I represented the state of Manipur, and I was in the top 12, and that's post which, you know, how the auditions start floating in, and it just started.
But how did the first break happen? You know, now today you are for everyone Choti Sardarni.
Right.
You know, jaise kehte hain ki in TV your character becomes your name.
Correct.
You know, that they know you as. So how did that first break happen, and how difficult or challenging were those, you know, initial years?
See, I think nothing in life is easy. And I feel like I always shy away from talking about how challenging it was. Because every time I think of my challenges, I end up looking at people who have bigger challenges than I do, at least in my eyes, and then I feel like maybe I'm being too petty. But I would also not discredit the fact that, yeah, it was not easy. So I came to Bombay and, you know, I had to really convince my parents. I told them that, you know, I really want to do this. And they told me that you have 6 months in the city, so if something happens, great. Otherwise, come back and pursue your masters and start studying again. So I think that, you know, clock ticking for me is what also probably, you know, I think I'm someone who works best under pressure. So I just knew that there's a, you know, expiry date here. So I must really bust and, you know, try to crack whatever I can. So I would literally, like, typically my day would begin by 10. I would be out with a jhola of mine with all sort of audition outfits possible. And I would just go to every, you know, office and just keep auditioning. Because I realized the more that I would audition is probably the more confident I would get in front of the camera. And yeah, I started doing that. A bunch of things were supposed to happen. They didn't. Everybody tells you, oh, don't start off with television. Never looked down upon television, but even I was skeptical, you know, because when you come to the city of dreams, you're like, oh, you know, I want a big banner film, and, you know, like, Dharma is as if going to wait for you and tell you ki ha ha aajao. But that's not how it works. You have to really work up the ladder, I feel. And even when the script of Choti was announced, I was told that, you know, like, when it was shared with me, a lot of women in television were not very comfortable, you know, because this was going to be the first show ever on television where there was a child before marriage, and how the poster of Choti was also of a woman who was in her wedding attire with a 6-month baby bump. And that was probably something that, you know, nobody wants to be like that, or, you know, everybody was just like, are you sure you want to do this? But I think I've always maintained the fact that one should always stick to their gut, and I just felt that it was one very empowering story, and I was just very thrilled that I could be a part of it.
No, path breaking as well, and that also is why we've honored you today for the choices you've made as well. And then another choice finally that you made was Bigg Boss. Tell us a bit about that choice and what you've taken from the show. Of course, you became very popular on the show. You were, you know, one of the finalists, of course, on the show, and have got a lot of traction on social media thanks to that show.
Yeah.
So, kya takeaways rahe, or what explains that choice?
I think I was a very reluctant participant on the show. You know, for the first 1 month, I was just like, I don't want to do this. Maybe I'm not meant for it. And even today, I feel that I'm probably a misfit for the show. Because I feel that every show is made with a different thought process. And obviously, you know, for entertainment. People are watching the show for entertainment. So you obviously sometimes need to move in a certain direction which is probably not 100% you. But before I stepped in, I told myself that it doesn't matter, you know, if I stay in for a week or longer, I am not going to succumb to the pressure of being watched or of being entertaining enough at the cost of who I am. So that way I feel like really proud. And like you said, you know, with television, people usually come to know you for your character name, and I just felt that it was the right opportunity, and maybe at that time I didn't even see it, but, you know, like you said, cut to it, got so much traction, you know, LSD 2 announcement happened, that changed so much, like one would have never preempted something like that even happening, and the fact that I'm here. So I'm very grateful that I did end up doing it, and I'm also very proud of the fact that I didn't change myself to fit in.
I have to ask you quickly, what's the equation with Abdu now? Are you still his first love? Ya thoda sa duri aa gayi hai?
I think everybody has badgered him so much, which is slightly unfair, you know, because we've all been 19 and we've all had our share of crushes, and I think it's absolutely normal. The equation with him is great, of course. You know, he keeps shuttling between Dubai and here, and obviously, like, even in our normal lives, we are not speaking to each other on a daily basis, because I don't even speak to my parents on a daily basis. So, yeah, but otherwise I think it's always warmth and well wishes.
Thank you so much for being with us. I want to sign off with a message that you'd like to give to the youngsters over here, the young girls. Also, you know, you've spoken your mind about your mental issues, also that you went through, weight issues as well. Again, all the reasons why we've chosen you for this award today.
Thank you so much. And I just want to tell every girl in the room, like, irrespective, like, trust me, when we all wake up, when I wake up, I feel full of complexes, you know, because I feel like, okay, I'm not looking my best, you know, this is not the right body size, I don't feel confident today. Trust me, I even woke up today and I was feeling really frustrated of how I was looking. I was like, no, the hair's not right, this is not right, my mood's not right. But it's just about, you know, not let anything in, you know, don't let anything come in the way of your confidence, I think, and don't let anyone tell you that this is not possible, because trust me, there is nothing that is impossible. If you have your grit and if you have your passion, then sky is the limit.
So from Choti Sardarni on Colors to Bigg Boss to now lots more coming. I'm not going to go into that because you have to watch this space for more. Nimrit Kaur Ahluwalia, thank you so much for joining us today at We Women Want Festival, and congratulations once again on winning the NewsX Shakti Award today.
Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure and honor. Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.